Good morning. I'm gonna move my mic over here. Good morning, you guys. This is Susan. I'm waiting just a moment for YouTube to begin recording. I'm just coming on this morning with a quick dream to share with you that went on and on and on, but I'm going to make a real short video about it. But I just thought I should share it because there's no question in my mind that it was from the Lord. So, okay, looks like we are okay. All right. This morning, well, I was thinking about how the Lord gives us dreams. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the Lord gave me a dream this morning about 3:30 in the morning. It went on and on for quite a while. So I'm just going to share it, trying to remember all the important parts. But of course, it was a very lengthy dream, so I'm not going to go into all of it because it's not necessary, because the message of the dream was very simple, and it was a dream in different scenes, you know, when the Lord gives you a dream, and it's different scenes. So I'm just going to share the scenes as they were shown to me. The very first scene, I was over in Israel, and I don't have a picture for this one, but I was in Israel. I was in a convention. Stephen Ben Nun, was speaking. He was one of the speakers, and he was up there pouring out his heart to the people. There was a lot of people, and the people weren't even really paying attention. They were just sort of talking amongst themselves. They weren't really listening. In fact, some of them were mocking and laughing. It was unbelievable, but I was way at the back, so I saw this as though I were in the last seat back looking forward. But yet I could see Stephen's face close up at the same time. And so I felt a huge sadness, because I thought, here he is up there sharing from his heart, and nobody's listening. And it was as though I could hear the Lord saying, nobody's listening to him. Nobody's listening. And it was saddening the Lord. In fact, anyway, it was a lot more to it, but that was the very first scene of the dream. Okay, then the next scene changed, and forgive me, I'm going to try to do this correctly. Okay. Oh, let me see. Okay, the next scene changed, and I was in a field, and I was walking. I was again in Israel. My son was with me, myself, and Stephen Ben Nun, and we were walking through a field. And it was, how could I say it? There were bushes there, you know, as though you would be sort of like in the desert, but not really. And there were like little mounds, like, you know how you see the dunes, and then the brush. And so there we were walking through this area, and there was a few people walking through the area. But the strange thing is, my son and Stephen had these strange-looking canisters, like a burnished cylinder. The thing that I reckon it to is when you're working in a market and you put money in these cylinders. You know, they're not real big. They're maybe 12, maybe a foot long at the very most. So they had these cylinders in their hands, and I had this instinct knowledge that they were weapons, and that they were the only thing I could think of was like when I'm trying to think of what a picture of it might be is like a bazooka, you know, those handheld things that they just fire out a whole bunch of stuff. But so anyway, people were sort of like crouching, and it was a very dangerous place that we were in. It was not as though everything was safety. No, it was a time when if you went out of your house, you better really be careful. And a lot of people were crouching down and laying down on the ground and had these strange looking types of whatever you want to call it. Cylinders is what I call it. But yet it was not a cylinder that I've ever seen. So anyway, I'm thinking that is sort of like some kind of a new, maybe a weapon that we don't even know what's coming up. And I didn't even get to, let me just bring up this other picture. Oh, let me try to find, hold on just a second. Let me get this other picture. There was another thing that happened in the other scene, because I'm going to try to find it. Just give me a second. As we were walking through this field, and they were using these cylinders. Here we go. Okay, I think this is the one. Yeah, people, they were saying something like, well, we need to, now I'm giving credit, of course, you see the invisibility cloak, they call it. Well, this was like something was said as we were walking through this field. Well, we better get out the invisible house shield. So it was something like it was so big that it would cover up the house. And so everyone was saying, well, we better get out the invisible house, in something, the wording like that, to make your house invisible. I was like, are you kidding me? Something that big. But so I don't know, that was also coming in the dream. Okay, now then let me move on forward. Then that scene changed to another scene. I was in another meeting. I can't tell you where, but it was another big meeting. I believe it was, well, I know it was in America because I was meeting my daughter and she's in America. So I was going to meet my daughter who is in America. And I was, of course, you dress up if you were going to a meeting, and you know me, I have blonde hair. But there was a time in my life that the Lord put me in a movie situation. He told me before I was ever cast in this or anything, as I was having my nails done, he said, the world's going to look at you like Jackie Kennedy. I thought, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Well, my mother really did look like her. I don't feel I ever did, but my mother really did, and she had the height, and I mean, she was a ringer. But anyway, and at the time in 1964, that Jackie looked like that in 1964. So anyway, then the scene changed. Let me bring these pictures up if I can. Yeah, here we go. So the scene changed and I was walking to meet my daughter. Let me get rid of that one. And there you can see a picture of myself on the left and Jackie on the right, just to give you a reference of me with dark hair is all. The people, when I was on the set, they said, oh my God, she looks more like Jackie than Jackie looked like Jackie. And it was like, it was a strange time in my life. Like I say, I wasn't planning on doing this or anything. Anyway, the next scene was that I was coming out of a meeting to meet my daughter, and people were all like, when you'd stop, everybody would just stop and stare and want to take pictures. And there was something to do with my shoes, because I looked at myself and I thought, well, I don't look any different. But there I was. Everyone was saying, Jackie Kennedy, there's Jackie, there's Jackie, there's Jackie. And so what is that? Excuse me. What do I feel that is maybe what God is saying? Is that we're coming up on a time, and I don't even want to say this, we're coming up on a time when that whole scenario, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, is a very strong possibility that that's going to return to America again. And I think you can fill in all the blanks. And that's basically the three different scenes, actually four. The invisibility, the people laughing at Stephen over there speaking and sharing from his heart, and breaking his heart and God's heart. Also the field scene where they had these strange handheld, like silver bazooka kind of looking things, cylinder. and they were very deadly. And then the next scene, of course, and then the scene of making the house invisible, and then the next scene of where I was coming out of this meeting in America, meeting my daughter, and again, Jackie Kennedy. So there you have it. That was basically what I saw in the dreams, and I just wanted to bring that to you. So for whatever it's worth, do whatever you feel. I just felt it was a very sad thing, sad parts, but yet again, what's coming. So God bless your day. Make sure that you have Jesus in your heart. He is the Messiah. Funny thing, just as I was getting to do this, I get a lot of text messages. Nancy writes me, Israel Rabbi Yaakova Zisholtz says he's holding meetings with the Messiah soon to reveal himself. Wow. All right, you guys, have a blessed day. Send me your comments. Leave the comments in the bottom if you have any comments. And I'm praying for you. Talk to you guys later on.